So glad to see you here. This is a big day for us. We just got a notice that we have 50,000 subscribers. Now, welcome here. If you've not been here before, my name's Terry Moore, and I'm here to talk about what we call the Unified Path. And the Unified Path is a spiritual approach. It's not really a path as it is so much a perspective and a way of helping you engage all of yourself in your spiritual life. There are many teachers around, there are many techniques. Some are old, some are very new. All of them may be useful, or they may be a waste of time. That's something that you need to assess in your own life and strengthen what you can and let go of what isn't helping you. The Unified Path is here to do that, to help you look at your life, your spiritual life, in terms of the various components. And we call the body, the mind, the heart, and the soul. And for purposes of definition, the body is the moving part, the mind is the thinking part, the heart is the feeling part, and the soul is that part of you that connects with being and the transcendent. Now, we all have all of these parts, all of us, but they get different amounts of attention and strength depending on what we're doing. And the Unified Path is a way of analyzing ourselves and our progress in such a way that we can bring the best parts of ourselves to our spiritual life and leave off the parts that aren't using enough of us or aren't being very helpful. So to that end, I'm very glad to see you here. I'm glad there are today 50,000 of you. I know that we have been, from what I've heard, very helpful to a number of you, and I'm hoping that the Unified Path will continue to encourage and support you in your spiritual life. So that's where we are, that's what we're doing, and that's why I'm here today.
Terry, for somebody that's living in the city and feeling despondent, especially about what's happening lately in the news, what do you recommend that they do to get themselves out of the chatter and noise?
I think that one of the important things that one needs to do is to break the daily cycle that one is caught in. And you can do that very simply by adding an activity that allows you to be present. And it needn't be lengthy or complicated. For example, when you get up in the morning and you're going to make a cup of coffee, pause for a moment, light a candle, and just pull yourself together and be here now. And remember that being is everywhere and that life will go on and it may be complicated, but things are like that. So take a moment, light a candle, be present, and then you can get on with your day. You will be surprised, I can promise you, what a profound effect having a little time to yourself and paying attention to your own being will have on the rest of your life. Trust me, try it. It doesn't take much time or energy.
Do you have any recommendations for books or anything that people could read?
Oh my goodness. In terms of spiritual books, the world is full of wonderful books. Some of them are ancient and from well-known Orthodox traditions. Some of them are new. And I would say the thing to do is to look for books that somehow attract you, that resonate with some part of you, that when you look at what the author has to say or what the topics are, that there's something you resonate with, and that would be a place to start. And all you need to worry about at this point is a place to start. You don't have to have the whole spiritual map of your life and existence all worked out. But if you're looking for some place to start, look around, see what resonates with you, and then use that as a starting point. And then maybe we can talk about that.
You talk about body, mind, heart, and soul. What is something that I can do for the body? Something simple.
The body. The body is something that is with us all the time, that is part of our being in nature, and needs to be part of our spiritual life. And the way to make that happen is to include the body in a ritual, something that the body can do regularly and that calls us back to our center. And that could be something as simple as a 10-minute walk, or some sort of exercise or stretching in the morning. One of the things I do is a little exercise called the swimming dragon, which is a way of spending a few minutes to involve the body in one's day. But again, these things needn't be lengthy or complicated, but it's absolutely important that they be included. The body is one of them. So if your body is part of your spiritual life, good for you. If not, do something, anything, to include it and bring it along. Things will blossom from there.
Do you have any recommendations? This is coming from the chat. Do you have any recommendations for someone in their 20s who's new to spiritual practice? What might be entry points for me at 25, this person's 25, to connect to my spiritual self?
Well, again, I say this is a matter of looking around. And it depends on how much exposure you've had to spiritual processes and spiritual history. I gather from what you're saying that you have not done a lot of scholarship in terms of Orthodox religious practice, and therefore to investigate Orthodox religious practices might be interesting, but also might take a lot of time and energy on your part. So I would, to start with, look at fairly modern authors, those who have things to say about things that you can do here and now. People come to mind like Jean Klein, Rupert Spira, Greg Good, Francis Lucille, and people who actually have something to offer you that you can engage in immediately, rather than having to work out theoretically and then figure out how to apply. So I think that would be the best way to get off to a good and immediate start.
Someone just joined. Sorry, I've just come on. Could you tell me what this is about? Thank you.
Yeah.
That is DS2X2895.
Well, dear DS2X895, let me reiterate that my name's Terry Moore, and I'm here to talk about what we call the Unified Path. And the Unified Path is a perspective that allows you to involve all of yourself in your life, and particularly your spiritual life, in terms of using all the parts of yourself, which we call body, mind, heart, and soul, in a symphony of action, so that you can get as much as you can out of what you're doing without wasting time in irrelevant areas or places that don't help, and concentrating more on the places in your growth and your assimilation of the spiritual life that are helpful and strengthening. And the Unified Path is here to help you do exactly that.
They responded and said thank you with a smiley face.
Well, I smiley face back at you.
Right. We don't have any more comments coming in yet, Terry, so.
All right, well, let me just talk for a moment about various spiritual methods, of which there are many, and the Unified Path doesn't really discourage or disparage any of them, because they all may be useful to some degree to somebody, and the problem then is what is useful for you and what can be used in your own life, and that may be from an ancient tradition, or it may be from a new perspective. But the question is, what is useful? And that's what the Unified Path is here to help you find out. What's useful in terms of your body, mind, heart, and soul, in terms of your spiritual life, and the growth toward the goal of oneness and integration, and knowing the good, knowing God, knowing enlightenment.
We have another question from E Deuces 729. How does the spiritual impact the body?
Oh, the spiritual impacts the body, and the body impacts the spiritual in a variety of ways. But the spiritual, in terms of our understanding of the spiritual, may influence the way that we use the body. If you want to step back and look at a larger philosophical or metaphysical perspective, certainly the spiritual determines the world we live in and how we operate in it. But that's not really the question. The question is, how can we get to know that better, use it better for ourselves, and finally come to understand it? And that's what the Unified Path is all about.
Tori said, this is in response to something earlier. Thanks for the great response to my question. I grew up Catholic, but I'm trying to expand my spiritual understanding. I'll check out the authors you mentioned. And then we have another comment from @pillow060. I don't know if it's I and I or one and one. We appreciate you commenting. I don't know what that means, but thank you so much for commenting.
Yes, well, we appreciate your commenting. Please do some more. I think these dialogues are very good. I'm happy to engage in them, and I'm happy to have heard from so many of you about how helpful they are. Let's keep this up.
Thank you, everyone.